For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them.
My name is Anastasia Derone, and when I first came to the Women's Resource Center, I was pretty overwhelmed at the time. My support system before I came there was pretty rough. I was in a bad relationship with a military member that was overseas for about a year. And then when I got pregnant, I had found out that the whole time he had been cheating on me. So he kind of made things to where I was pretty isolated from family, friends, anything like that. So going there was kind of a nice relief because it was a doctor setting. He didn't get too upset about it or whatever, and I could talk to them about what was going on. Well, going there definitely helped out a lot, de-stressing and having other people to talk to because I didn't have anybody to talk to at home or outside of it. And it also helped that I already knew a couple of the ladies there. One of them I grew up down the road from, so I mean, she was the ultrasound tech, so it was very familiar and friendly to go into. It was the office I first went to. Initially I was nervous, of course, I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know how things were gonna go or how pregnancy was gonna be, so pretty rough, but they were really nice. They talked me through everything, helped me find a doctor. They did the pregnancy tests and everything and the ultrasound, which was nice. I could actually see the baby and start comprehending that I'm gonna be a mom. It was a big help just solidifying what was going on. Initially seeing the ultrasound and everything, it was actually pretty terrifying. More fear than anything, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna handle it, job, all of that. It all kind of hit like a wave. So it definitely took a while to get used to the idea of how I'm gonna go about things, how things are gonna change, but that definitely kick-started it for sure for me. About the time he started kicking was when it kind of started to sink in that I'm growing a kid here and it's pretty special, and that helped me bond with him quite a bit. And then when he was born, I had him during COVID. It had just began. I had preeclampsia. He was an emergency induction. Both of us nearly died during that delivery. And I was stuck in the hospital alone for a week with him as a first-time mom, so it kind of forced the bonding time on us, but it did help in the long run because I had somebody I could hold and love and care for and stuff, especially since I didn't have that outside of just my son. I came back to them the second time because my daughter, her dad wasn't in the picture at all from the first month on. I went there initially to confirm that I was pregnant, and then after that, I had just moved back to Crawfordsville from Michigan, so I didn't have a doctor set up again, and I didn't have anything, so I was starting back from square one once again. And I didn't have any of the baby stuff that I had before because the move. I wasn't expecting to have a baby, so it was a big surprise, and I needed everything from just basics on. And they help with clothes and the car seat and everything, and I really, really needed the help being a single mom, pregnant with a second child. Currently, right now, I am engaged. I'm pregnant with the third baby. With the fiance. We live together, and my two kids are also with me. pretty small apartment, but you know, you got to start somewhere. Kids are growing great. I mean, I still go into the women's for this baby. It's a little girl. They were able to do the first couple ultrasounds for me, which was really nice because they do them pretty early, up to like 12 weeks, I believe. So it's nice to be able to see the baby a little bit more because doctors only do ultrasounds like once or twice. So the moms group is new to me and to them from what I understand. So far I've gone to I think 3 or 4 of them, and the first one was a bit overwhelming because you going in there thinking, I don't know how these other moms are gonna be, I don't know how the situation's gonna be, the environment, but initially, I mean, it was pretty open. Everybody was talkative. People were able to talk about whatever issues were going on and not stress about judgment because all of us have different crazy scenarios going on in life. Well, I know my kids are gonna be better off now than they were if I wouldn't have gone there. They have the things that they need. They're always got good people around them. Another thing is the moms groups. You get to meet other moms with other kids, same age and stuff.
I started living on my own when I was 16 years old, and my life just kind of began there. I actually dropped out of high school, and I started homeschooling myself, if that makes sense. And I then graduated. It did take me a couple of years. I should have graduated probably within a year or two, and it took me almost 3.5 years to graduate. But I also had, at the age of 17, got my CNA license and became a CNA, and work was just kind of my thing. I just knew how to work, and I knew I had to finish school because I did not want to not have my diploma. But it's just kind of where it started. And I had kind of always been told, like at a young age, that I'd never have kids, and kind of just been told like I'd never really go anywhere in life. So I just kind of wanted to prove everybody wrong. I knew I was stronger than that, and I knew I was better than that. So that's just kind of where it all began. I was at work one day as a CNA, and I kind of was like, something's different. Like, I'm pretty sure that I'm pregnant, but I kind of like told myself I wasn't, but I kind of told myself I was, because it was something that I had already kind of went through before and got my hopes up. So I called my mom and I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. And she's like, there's no way. Like, don't give your hopes up, Rayleigh. Like, this is like something that you always put yourself through, and it just doesn't work out. I was like, I'm just gonna get a test. Worst case scenario, it's negative. And on my lunch, I went and got a pregnancy test and from the Dollar Tree. And lo and behold, I was at work when I took it, and I was like, what? Hang on, I think I see a faint line, but I was like, I don't really believe it. I really don't. So I went back to the Dollar Tree on another break that I wasn't supposed to take, but they let me. And I grabbed another test, took back to work, and I was like, we're gonna try this again. And when I saw the line was still faint, I was like, these tests must be really broken or something, because I was told I'd never have kids. And so I then was like, okay, I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. So my emotions when I found out like it was a real thing, I was like super excited, but super like scared. I had all the emotions like, you know, will this pregnancy last? You know, will I be able to carry it a full term? Because that was something that I was also told, that if I was to get pregnant, it would be something that probably wouldn't be able to be carried for full term or at all for very long. So the emotions were just a bit everywhere, really. But I was more excited than anything to just be like, wow, this is it. Like, I don't even know. So I instantly went out and bought an outfit when I didn't even know what it was. But yeah, that's just kind of how it started, really. So like the vibe or like the way the women were there was very passionate. That's a very good word I have for them, because like that is what I felt from them. I was scared, like not because I was just pregnant, but just I have a lot of fear of people in general. And so when I walked in there, they were very caring, very educational, and just had a lot of love and so much words of affirmation for me that just kind of helped me. So it really just pushed me to just realize that like it's gonna be okay, and it's okay to have all these emotions, because you'll get through it. So other things I use from the Women's Resource Center, besides the diaper giveaways, the clothes giveaways, I also wasn't even really introduced into the moms group until after I had my second child, which I was already in a program for my first child. So my relationship continued with the Women's Resource Center when I had realized that they do, you know, the ultrasounds, and then they kind of told me about some of the programs that they do for the babies, and then later on for the moms, which is amazing. So I decided, cannot hurt, I'm gonna sign up for these programs, and they can give me information about things that I have no clue about, or maybe that I need extra education on. And they also offered like free diapers and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know, I have nothing for this child that I'm bringing into this world, so I'm gonna try it. And it was so much more than that. It was more than just the gifts, and so much more than, you know, just meeting with them. They were there to, you know, talk about your feelings as you were going through the pregnancy, which is something I didn't even know how to express at first because there were so many feelings. But then once I started opening up, it was kind of nice to have someone there that was outside of family and outside of people and friends, people that didn't judge you, people who, you know, they didn't really know you, but they were getting to know you, and so it was kind of nice just to start opening up to them. So I stayed in the program doing the items, and then I was introduced to the moms group, and that was like a whole new level of opening up for me. It's where I learned that I am so much more than what I thought I was, and I have, you know, so much passion for things I didn't even know I had passion for now, and they have helped me so much through a lot of things, so I couldn't be more grateful for all the programs that I've been involved in.
Hi, my name is Chloe Bush, and when I came to the Women's Resource Center, I was a nervous wreck because I was already 3 months pregnant before I had found out, but having their support helped a lot. I had support from my home until I got into drugs and I went the wrong direction in life. And I was living house to house, not knowing where I was going to lay my head next or when I was going to eat my next meal. My cousin, LaDonna, told me about the Women's Resource Center. She informed me about them being set up at the church by her house, and she told me I could go there and they'd do an ultrasound. Scary, nervous, because it was like a first-time thing. But it made me realize that I had their help. They listened to me about whatever I needed to talk about. They were pushing me forward, not making me want to go back to the life I was living. They let me know that they weren't there to judge me and that they were just there to be able to listen to me and help me with whatever I needed to be helped with, and that they would always be there, no matter what situation I had been in. When I went to the mobile unit, they were the first ones to do an ultrasound for me, and it was very scary, and emotional hearing the heartbeat and seeing the ultrasound, because at first I didn't believe that I was actually pregnant after going to the doctor's office. But then when I seen the ultrasound, it was like, bam, it hit me. So I was going there for the medical, and then they started helping me with some baby supplies. So I just kept going back. Their attitudes are very like supportive, like they understand. They're very mindful that I'm not alone and that I can reach out no matter what. She's going to be named Tinley. It was supposed to be my brother's female name until he came out as a male. I'm hoping she'll have a full set of hair with all the heartburn that I've been having. Becoming a first-time mom, it's very scary thinking about it, but it's also what saved my life. It also made me realize that I got a purpose, that I know that I can't give up no matter what now, because I got another person counting on me. I know that I'm going to have to be there for her, and I know that I will, because she's always going to count on me.